Hey guys and gals, it's me George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man, and I'm out here in the shop, and I haven't been out here. This is the first day here since last Saturday. I'll give you a quick explanation. I have been working on push mowers, trying to get some of them fixed so I could sell them, and I actually have sold two of them, one that was left over from last year and one that I got running from this year, and I have another one sitting out front right now, and I still have at least one more to try and fix. But I ran into a problem. I didn't know what I did, but after going to see the doctor yesterday, my shoulder has been very, very sore since last Saturday. I mean, so sore that I couldn't, my wife had to help me getting dressed and stuff like that. Right up in here, I'm right-handed. And as it turns out, I have a torn ligament in my shoulder. And the doctor told me that it's going to take up to 12 weeks for it to heal. And you're not supposed to do any repetitive actions. No heavy lifting, no heavy pushing, and I thought, well, yeah, that's not a big deal. I can do that. And I figured that from yanking on recoils, that's what did my shoulder in. And I spent a long day out here last Friday and another long day out here last Saturday working. And I pulled recoils quite a few times, I guess, and I'm guessing that's what did it. Hey, you know, I'm not as young as I used to be. So I guess that means I can't dunk the basketball for a while. Not that I have been able to anyway. But yeah, so that's why I haven't been out in the shop. I'm feeling better now. I just have to, I can't work out here as long. And you know, did you ever stop and think how many repetitive things you do when you're working on, well, most anything? Every time you pick up a hammer, that's repetitive action. And that's not what this is all about. You can see this box right here in front of me. And there's actually a packing list, invoice enclosed, but it's not anything that I purchased, I can tell you that, but I can tell you that it comes from Rothbury, Michigan. And let's see if there is a note. Hey George, it's me, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man's biggest fan. You might get some competition for that one, Ron, but thank you. I really like the Gadget bike and now the Goofy cart too. So I made for you the Goofy Gadget cane. It can be used right or left-handed, and either side of the handle can be used. All of the gadgets you find inside one of the outer boxes, some assembly required. Thank you for all your videos and most of all for your friendship. We love you, George. All of us at Wally's Place 66, Ron, Amy, Ronnie, Kimmy, and Landon. Tell Claudia we said howdy. Claudia's my wife. I wasn't able to get the Phillips head screwdriver to thread all the way because I don't have a pipe tap that big, but it threads enough to do the trick. Also, I was hoping you would make a Goofy Gadget cane emblem to put on the cane, like the emblem you put on the Gadget bike. Well, we'll see what we can do. So without further ado, and thank you very much, Ron, a Goofy Gadget cane. Now he said, nothing in this box, George. So we'll just eliminate that box. I think he did it to balance it off. Let me move my hub assembly out of the way. We'll flip this up. Okay. that box up there. And we'll take this one off. Parts in this box. Aha! I see one of the reasons for the box. Part of the handle is sticking out, and he cut a hole in here to fit down over it to protect it. Pretty smart guy, that Ron. Wally's Place. And the parts are down in here. Says pieces and parts, some assembly required. Yeah, well, I can do the assembly. And I probably have a tap to finish tapping that hole that you were talking about. See if I can open this bag and save it. I like to recycle my shipping cartons and bags if I can. Okay. Put the knife down before you stab yourself with it. Wow, it's got a screwdriver. Aha! Let me open this bag. He's got this thing zip-locked and sealed up. Okay, and he's even got, okay, he's even got a diagram to show me where the different gadgets go. Okay. Well, let me open the box, the main box. Oh, look again. Slide it down. Okay, that looks like slide off. He said, "No, come this way, I can't just slide off here." It's a jigsaw puzzle. A three-dimensional jigsaw puzzle. In case anybody's wondering, the Gadget Bike is still here. I've had a bunch of people offering, but everybody wants to cheap it out. Whoa. Looking at that. How's that for a cool handle on there? Look at that. Now, and he's got it drilled out here, and he's got a hole drilled there, and he's got another fitting in there. He has a Craftsman wrench embedded in there, and he has two loops there. So let's see what we can do here. The first piece is this Phillips screwdriver, and that screws in here. I see what he meant, but that's okay. And then a straight slot screwdriver, and that threads up into here. And then a scratch all punch. Look at how cool the head is on that. And that threads in here. Just like that. How cool is that? And finally, the hammer slides down in there. So how cool is that? I have a hammer, I have a straight slot screwdriver, I have a scratch-all, and a Phillips screwdriver. And I don't think I'm going to be taking the wrench off, but how cool is that? Because as you remember, the Gadget bike had lots of Craftsman wrenches on it. Now, oh, I can't do it right-handed, that hurts. But how cool is that, huh? The Goofy Gadget cane. Wow, that is super cool. That is going to go in my office for now, but I think I'm going to have to make accommodations for it on the Goofy cart. You know what I mean? I'm not planning on selling the Goofy cart after I get it done. And as it's turning out, I'm going to have quite a bit more money invested in it. I spent $25 this morning. I got 4 10mm by 1.5 nuts. I got 2 5/8 grade 8 nuts, the lock nuts, and I got the 4 bushings that I ended up returning. And those bushings were the most expensive. My receipt was for over $18 when I got it back. That's how much cash back I got. So I have to do some more tinkering around. Of course, if I was a really cool dude and I had a lathe, I would just turn my own bushings, you know. But even that would be difficult because it's bronze is not cheap to buy either. But we'll get her done. And I'm working on the front end. Let me lay this down here. So cool, Ron. So cool. Wally's Place, 66. Let me show you what we have on the workbench down here. We have the axle, the front axle, and that's what I'm working on. That's my main goal, is to get this all put together. I'm going to weld some nuts together and turn them, and I'll show you how I'm going to turn them. I don't have a lathe, but I'm going to turn them using my drill press and a grinder, and I will turn them down so they'll fit inside this tube, and then they'll get welded to this tube, and that way my threaded rod can slide in there. And so I've got to do 4 of those, 1 for each end of the tie rod, and 1 for each end of the drag link. And then my next part of the project will be to get my spindles welded on here like that. And when I get my bushings for my hubs, then these will slide in there like that. And of course there'll be a washer on each side of it. And I'll probably end up cutting this down out here so it doesn't stick out so far. And these hubs fit in the 8-inch wheels that I have. And I am at the moment the high bidder on a pair of 8-inch tires, trailer tires, so they'll be highway rated, that we'll be using on the front end. And I'll be sandblasting the wheels that I already have to use. And I am high bidder on a pair of tires for the back of the Goofy cart as well, 205 75/15s, which is a little bit smaller than the ones that are on it. The ones that are on it now are a little bit of overkill. They're 235 75s. So it'll be a little bit shorter than that, probably by 1.5 inches, maybe even 2 inches, I'm not sure. So my hope is that by the end of next week, if all goes well and my shoulder cooperates with me, that I will have at least the front end installed and on wheels, and possibly be working on the rear suspension. It would be nice to tell you that I'm going to have the whole thing up on wheels, but that's probably a little optimistic where I can't spend as much time out in the shop as I'd like to. It's turned cold here. It's only 40 degrees here in the shop right now, and so yeah, I can't spend as much time out here anyway because of my shoulder. I have to limit my time out here. So that's where we're at, and thank you all for watching and for commenting, and yep, I got these in the mail yesterday. These are pillow blocks. It cost me less for 2 of these pillow blocks than it did for those 4 little bushings. I can't believe it. Well, that's online, you know, so I'm going to go online and I'll get me some bushings that'll work. And these are for our steering setup, of course. And that will help me get my steering box mounted. And we'll be one step closer to getting the front suspension and steering set up. And just a quickie on the rear suspension. I told you I'm going to use the buggy spring. I am going to do that, but I also have another addition to go with the buggy springs. And if you look down here on my bench, you can see them right there. Those springs there are actually what do you call them? What are the wheels? Training wheels. Those are training wheel mounts. There were wheels on them, and I took the wheels off. My son actually bought these for me. So I'm going to have one of those on each end of the buggy spring to help stabilize the back end, because as most of you know, you have a fair amount of play tipping back and forth using the cross-leaf spring. But this will help stabilize it, and I probably will be using the shock absorbers I have on the front to help stabilize that. So we're working at it. Just won't be as fast as I had planned, and not as fast as I would like either, for sure. Thanks for following along, and we'll see you the next time. Bye now.